Christian Horner just became available. And according to German media reports, Cadillac might be about to make the boldest move in Formula One's recent history. While everyone's debating whether Sergio Perez or Valtteri Bottas deserves that coveted seat, there's a much bigger story brewing behind the scenes. What if I told you that Cadillac isn't just hunting for drivers anymore? What if their real target could completely reshape how we think about this new American team entering the sport in 2026? Stay with me, because the evidence suggests something massive is about to unfold. Here's what we know for certain. Cadillac announced Graeme Lowden as their team principal from day one. That was before Christian Horner's shocking departure from Red Bull. Now, German media outlets are connecting these dots in ways that Mario Andretti and the Cadillac leadership can't ignore. Think about this timeline. Horner's career started exactly like Cadillac's situation right now, as team principal of a brand new F1 team with zero experience. Back then, he had no days of leadership experience in Formula One. Fast forward 20 years, and he's sitting on 8 drivers' championships and 6 constructors' titles. The financial reality makes this even more compelling. Reports suggest Horner would need over $300 million for just a 20% stake in Alpine if he wanted to become a part owner there. Compare that to stepping into Cadillac as team principal, a role that gives him complete operational control without the massive financial burden. But here's where it gets interesting. Toto Wolff recently spoke about Valtteri Bottas' situation, saying, "We know Valtteri's priority is to try and find a race seat for 2026. He's eminently qualified to do that, and I'd say a front-running candidate in that regard as well." This confirms that Cadillac's driver hunt is very real, very active. But the driver situation becomes secondary when you realize what Horner's potential involvement could mean for the entire team dynamic. And this is where Sergio Perez enters the picture in ways you haven't considered. Initially, everyone assumed this was simple. Cadillac wants experience, so they're choosing between Bottas, who never missed a Q3 appearance from 2017 to 2021 and secured 10 career wins, and Perez, who became the first Red Bull driver to finish second in the Drivers' Championship while his teammate won the title. The logic seemed straightforward. Bottas brings proven performance and, according to Mercedes' Bradley Lord, has been instrumental in developing young talent like Kimi Antonelli. Meanwhile, Perez arrives with approximately $30 million in sponsorship backing, crucial financial support for a rookie team entering the sport. Mario Andretti himself provided what seemed like the perfect justification for considering Perez. According to reports, Andretti believes the performance struggles of both Tsunoda and Lawson in Red Bull prove the problem is the car, not the drivers. This suggests Perez deserves another chance to show his 2021 and 2023 form. But this narrative misses the most crucial element of all. Because what if the real story isn't about choosing between these drivers at all? What if it's about who would be making that choice? Here's what changes everything. If Cadillac appoints Christian Horner as team principal, the entire driver equation shifts dramatically. Consider the psychology at play. Horner was the team principal when Perez got ousted from Red Bull. Yes, the philosophy was clear, perform or leave, but Horner was still the decision maker. Would Perez really want to work with the same person who oversaw his departure, even under different circumstances at Cadillac? The evidence suggests this tension is real. Multiple sources indicate that Perez comes with significant financial backing, but emotional dynamics matter in Formula One. Working with someone who previously managed your exit from a top team creates complications that go beyond performance metrics. This is where Valtteri Bottas' position becomes even stronger. He has no negative history with Horner. His Mercedes experience under Toto Wolff, a team principal known for different management philosophies, could actually complement Horner's approach perfectly. But there's another layer to this. Reports indicate that Mick Schumacher, initially considered the frontrunner for Cadillac's young driver's seat, is now close to signing for their WEC program instead. This opens the door for other candidates like Felipe Drugovich, who dominated F2 before joining Aston Martin as a reserve driver. or current F2 competitors Jack Crawford and Alex Dunn. However, the most intriguing possibility involves a driver who's currently struggling at Red Bull, but might find redemption elsewhere. The Yuki Tsunoda factor cannot be ignored. Sources suggest that Tsunoda knows the RB21 is difficult to adapt to, and there are no guarantees Red Bull will remain dominant from 2026 onwards. A change of environment to Cadillac, especially under experienced leadership, could revitalize his career entirely. The implications of these decisions extend far beyond 2026. If Cadillac successfully recruits Horner as team principal, they're not just getting experience, they're making a statement to the entire F1 paddock that they're serious about competing at the highest level immediately. Consider what this combination could achieve. Horner's proven ability to build championship-winning operations, paired with either Bottas's consistency or Perez's sponsor-backed financial support, creates a foundation that most new teams can only dream of. The timing is perfect for Horner too. Taking on Cadillac would be similar to his early Red Bull days, but with 2 decades of additional experience. It's the ultimate redemption story, proving that his success at Red Bull wasn't circumstantial but transferable to building another competitive team from scratch. For the drivers involved, the stakes are equally high. Bottas, at this stage of his career, needs a competitive environment where his experience is valued. Cadillac with Horner provides exactly that. Perez, despite the potential awkwardness, might recognize that Horner's track record of developing competitive cars outweighs past conflicts. The financial aspect cannot be understated either. If Perez brings $30 million in sponsorship, that funding combined with Horner's operational expertise could accelerate Cadillac's development timeline significantly. Instead of the typical 3 to 5 year learning curve for new teams, they could be fighting for points in year 1 and podiums by year 3. But perhaps the most significant consequence is what this means for Formula One's competitive balance going forward. The evidence points to a potential perfect storm of opportunity, but key questions remain unanswered. Will Mario Andretti and the Cadillac leadership have the courage to make such a bold move with Horner? The German media reports suggest conversations are happening, but nothing's confirmed. How would the current grid react to Horner leading a new team that could disrupt the established order? His reputation for aggressive competition and strategic thinking could immediately elevate Cadillac's threat level. And perhaps most intriguingly, if this all comes together, which other teams should be worried? A Horner-led Cadillac with proper financial backing and experienced drivers doesn't need years to become competitive. They could be challenging for constructors' points from day one. The next few weeks will be crucial. Watch for any statements from Cadillac about their leadership structure and pay attention to how quickly they resolve their driver situation. If these decisions drag on much longer, it might suggest they're waiting for bigger pieces to fall into place. What do you think? Would Christian Horner as Cadillac's team principal be the power move that transforms them from grid newcomers to immediate contenders? And if it happens, which current teams should be most concerned about this new threat? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe because this story is far from over.